Hello everybody, welcome back to another video on the channel of Mr. Football Loons, and today I'm doing Game Week 18 and Game Week 19 predictions. And the reason for this is because I don't have enough time to record and edit during Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. So I'm going to do a double game week here today, and we're going to be starting off on Game Week 18 on 23rd December. It's on a Thursday, Selhurst Park. It's Crystal Palace versus Brighton and Hove Albion, and Crystal Palace got a 2-2 draw. You know, somehow they managed to get that 2-2 draw. Don't know how, but they managed to get it over the line. And facing Brighton, which got a 2-0 loss. I believe that's the first time Brighton didn't score a goal in a Premier League game this season. So that's crazy that they didn't score for the first time. But Brighton, they draw a lot. They have drew a lot this season. They have drew a lot. And in this game, facing Crystal Palace, who draw against Man City, I feel like they can draw against Brighton. Brighton draw a lot. And in my opinion, Brighton, they're probably going to be the dominant side in this game. But in conclusion, it's probably going to be a draw like normal. And I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw come the final whistle. Moving on to the next game is a whole new day. So 22nd of December is at Villa Park. It's Aston Villa versus Sheffield United. And you already know Aston Villa are obviously the favourites going into this. Do I feel like there could be an upset? Well, Sheffield United, they have looked a bit better under Chris Wilder. But overall, they lost 2-0 against Chelsea. It's quite a comfortable win for Chelsea at the end of it. They have shown good signs in recent times, Sheffield United with Chris Wilder. But facing Aston Villa at home, Aston Villa won against Arsenal and Man City at home. They only just about got it over the line against Brentford. Overall, Aston Villa's home record is sensational. I'm obviously going to go for Aston Villa. I'm going to go 2-0 come the final whistle. Moving on to the next game, on the 23rd of December. It's a whole new day. It's West Ham United at the mighty London Stadium facing Manchester United. And I have no clue how Manchester United managed to get a draw against Liverpool at Anfield after that complete disaster against AFC Bournemouth. You know what? Liverpool completely deserved it. I think Liverpool had like 34 shots, 8 on target. Onana made some good saves. I don't know how Manchester United kept a clean sheet, but they did. They somehow get it over the line a lot. And West Ham United, after getting defeated 5-0 against Fulham, they responded well by winning 3-0 against Wolverhampton Wanderers. What a great response by West Ham. Can I say Paqueta? Paqueta is the one getting West Ham all the goals. He's the one linking everyone up. I believe he got 2 assists. And by the way, can I quickly say, goal of game week 17, I'm going to give it to Jarrod Bowen. A lovely run, a lovely 1-2 with Paqueta, and then a lovely little finish on top of that. So Jarrod Bowen is my goal of game week 17. We'll stop talking about that. Overall, West Ham coming into this, I could definitely see them win this. But in Manchester United fashion, somehow Manchester United would probably get a late goal, just about survive this game. And I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw come the final whistle. Moving on to the next game, it's at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. It's Tottenham Hotspur versus Everton. And well, Everton in the last game got 2-0 away win against Burnley. It was overall a good win, a very good win. Everton, the last 4 games, they've won them all. Everton on some sensational form overall, and they're facing Tottenham Hotspur. It's going to be a very hard game. But Tottenham Hotspur also hadn't been fantastic before the last couple of games. The last couple of games have done well to get wins in both. They got a 2-0 win against Nottingham Forest in the last game. Overall, I am going to edge towards Spurs. I would not be surprised if this turns out to be a draw. Originally, I did put a draw, so I wouldn't be surprised. I'm going to edge Spurs with home advantage, and I'm going to go 2-1 in this game towards Tottenham Hotspur. Moving on to the next game, it's at the City Ground. It's Nottingham Forest versus AFC Bournemouth. Well, Nottingham Forest got a 2-0 loss against Spurs. You know what? They did create a few chances. There was a huge one with Willy Boly. I don't know how he didn't finish that. But still, Nottingham Forest, I think, are missing Taiwan Awoniyi. That is the thing they are missing, that goal-scoring threat. You know, but in this game, I think AFC Bournemouth is an easier opponent than Tottenham Hotspur. Yes, AFC Bournemouth have been doing fantastic, but they weren't doing fantastic at the start of the season. The first 19 games, they weren't doing fantastic. And I feel like this is a chance for Nottingham Forest to get something in this game. Sorry, Bournemouth, I wouldn't be surprised for a draw in this game. I was tempted to go for a 1-1 draw, but Nottingham Forest at home, they are desperate for 3 points. They haven't got 3 points in ages, and I think Steve Cooper is a fantastic manager. He will boost their team to get a 1-0 win come the final whistle. Only just about a 1-0 win to Nottingham Forest. Moving on to the next game is at Craven Cottage. It's Fulham versus Burnley. And Fulham, I don't understand. 5-0 win against Wolves. 5-0 win against West Ham United. A 3-0 loss against Newcastle United. Yes, they did have 10 men. That could have been it. But overall, they didn't deserve anything in that game. They were doing fantastic before, and maybe because they're home here, they can get back on track, especially that Burnley are on fantastic form. Although, I do rate Burnley. I don't know why things aren't clicking. You know, Kolyosho's obviously a huge miss. But overall, Burnley, they need points desperately. So I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw come the final whistle. Moving on to the next game, it's at Kenworth Road. It's Luton Town versus Newcastle United. And obviously, Luton Town's last game was abandoned because Tom Lockyer did go down. Very unfortunate. Full support towards him. But going into this game, Newcastle United won it 3-0 in their last game. Fantastic display, and Lewis Miley getting himself a goal. He's 17 years old. That is crazy, getting his first ever goal for Newcastle United. But Newcastle, it may think positively because of a 3-0 win. It may be positive, but they've got 2 more injuries on top of that. Joe Linton and Fabian Schär went down injured. Another 2 injuries to add on to their list. Not good for Newcastle United. Players are returning like Dan Burn and Sean Longstaff, but they're getting even more injuries. It's not good for Newcastle United. Their away record's not good, and this game, I don't think going to be an absolutely easy game for Newcastle. It's not going to be easy going to Kenworth Road. It never is. It's going to be a very close game. I am going to go towards Newcastle United. It may be because I am a Newcastle United fan, but oh well. I am going to go to Newcastle United, and I'm going to say it's going to be a 2-1 tight result come the final whistle. Moving on to the next game, possibly game of this game week. It is Liverpool at Anfield facing Arsenal. And you know what? This is going to be a close game. Liverpool, I said it earlier on in the video, 34 shots, 8 on target against Manchester United and 0 goals. I do not understand. I mean, so many missed chances there. Surely they're going to learn. Surely Clippity Klopp can actually make Liverpool learn how to finish their beans after they did not do it last time out against Manchester United. But they were by far the better team. They deserved the win. And they're facing Arsenal, which got a good 2-0 win against Brighton. They played well against Aston Villa when they lost at 1-0. They're top of the league. It's a title race. First and second. Huge game. I'm going Liverpool. They're home. And overall, at the start of the season, I said Liverpool win the title. I'm going to back them up. And I'm going to say Liverpool win this just about 1-0 come the final whistle. Moving on to the next games on Christmas Eve. It's the 24th of December. It's Wolverhampton Wanderers at the Molineux Stadium versus Chelsea. And well, Chelsea in the last game, a good 2-0 win. You know, it could have been more, and it was fantastic. Cole Palmer getting another goal. In fact, the majority of his goals has been from penalties. But overall, Pochettino is intelligent. At halftime, he changed things around. He changed Cole Palmer's position, and it worked. He got himself a goal, an outfield goal, not from a penalty. And it's fantastic. Chelsea, that's a really huge win. And well, Wolves didn't do very well in the last game, losing at 3-0. I feel like Wolverhampton Wanderers will score, as Hwang Hee-chan seems to score in almost every game recently. So I am going to give them a goal. I am going to go towards Chelsea. I feel like at some point Chelsea will start to click. And I feel like they're going to go on a run of form now. That's my prediction. I am going to go for a 2-1 win towards Chelsea. But Chelsea are so inconsistent, so it could be a 1-1 draw or a 1-0 win to Wolves. I have no clue. Another unpredictable game. And well, the video doesn't end there because I have to do Game Week 19 predictions. And obviously, I don't know any new injury suspensions from Game Week 18. I'm just going to have to go on basis of what I know currently. This is probably going to be the only time that this is going to happen a double game week because it's over Christmas. And I'm going to be starting off on the Boxing Day, the 26th of December. It is at St James's Park. It's Newcastle United versus Nottingham Forest. Well, Newcastle United obviously got knocked out of Europe entirely, which is frustrating as a Newcastle United fan. But it could be a good thing because there's going to be less games, which means more recovery time for injuries, more rest time, less players getting fatigued. So it could be a good thing for Newcastle to then focus on the Premier League. For the home here, we know about Newcastle's fantastic home record. We know that Nottingham Forest don't have a good away record. Nottingham Forest in poor form. Newcastle have a fantastic home record. They can focus on the Premier League. I am going to go for a 2-0 home win to Newcastle United come the final whistle. Moving on to the next game, it's at Bramall Lane. It's Sheffield United versus Luton Town. And this is a relegation battle game, isn't it? Two teams currently struggling. Although Sheffield United have picked up a bit of form because of Chris Wilder coming in. But they still lost it 2-0 against Chelsea. They're still losing games under Chris Wilder. And they're at home here. And you could say they're the favourites. But I would say I'm tempted to go for a draw. I'm tempted to go for the boring option and sit on the fence and go for a 1-1 draw. But instead, I'm going to pick a side. And I'm going to pick a side which I said they would stay up at the start of the season. I'm going to pick Luton Town. You know, they've shown fight. They have shown fight throughout the season. And I think they have played better than Sheffield United. Because the way they defend, they put so many players in the box to defend for their lives. And I feel like this one will be a very close game. But I'm going just about 1-0 to Luton Town come the final whistle. Very close game. Could easily go either way. Moving on to the next games at the Vitality Stadium. It's AFC Bournemouth versus Fulham. And well, AFC Bournemouth, they are looking good. They are looking good overall. Obviously didn't play the last game because of the Luton Town tragic offence. But they're at home here. And I don't know what the score would be. I'm tempted to just go down the middle because I cannot split these sides. I really cannot split the sides. So I'm going to go down the middle. I'm going to go for a 2 draw come the final whistle. Moving on to the next game. It's at Turf Moor. It's Burnley versus Liverpool. And Vincent Kompany's in trouble. Another loss after a loss. You know, it's not good enough. And they're facing Liverpool, which are in the title. They're in the title race. They are in the title race again, Liverpool, unlike last season. And surely Liverpool are going to win this. Surely it's an easy win for Liverpool. I am going to go for Liverpool 2-0 come the final whistle. An easy win for Liverpool. Sorry, Burnley. Moving on to the next game. It's at Old Trafford. It's Manchester United versus Aston Villa. And well, Aston Villa's away record is normally worse than their home record. And Aston Villa are definitely on a title race. Obviously, Aston Villa are the better side. But because Aston Villa are away and Manchester United are home, and Manchester United seem to get results over the line even if they perform bad. This happened throughout the whole season. There's games where they haven't played amazing and they somehow manage to get a result. I'm not going to go for a win for Manchester United, but I will go down the middle and say this is going to finish a 1-1 draw. I wouldn't be surprised if Aston Villa win this. Moving on to the next game, so on the 27th of December, it's at Stamford Bridge. It's Chelsea versus Crystal Palace. And well, Chelsea against Crystal Palace, a London derby. Crystal Palace, I believe Eze is fit going into this game. He did play, he did come on for the 90th minute in the last game against Manchester City. And you know what? Crystal Palace versus Chelsea, it could be a draw. Again, the inconsistency of Chelsea is absolutely bonkers. This could be a draw. But I am going to go for Chelsea. I'm going for double Chelsea wins in this video. Because Chelsea are at home here, I feel like they will get it over the line. And Crystal Palace haven't been amazing. You know, they got a 2-2 draw against Manchester City, but only just about. So I am going to edge Chelsea. I'm going to believe in Chelsea. I'm going to believe in Pochettino. And I'm going to go for a 1-0 win come the final whistle. Moving on to the next game, it's at the GTEC Stadium. It's Brentford versus Wolverhampton Wanderers. And Brentford have loads of injuries. They lost it 2-1 against Aston Villa. It is Aston Villa and they're on fantastic form. So, you know, but they also lost against Sheffield United, which is a bit concerning. And they've got loads of injuries. Ben Mee's now suspended. You know, that's going to cause more defensive errors. And Wolves, I think they will score. Again, like I said about Hwang Hee-chan and Cunha, you know, Cunha and Hwang Hee-chan link up fantastic. Wolves will definitely at least get a goal in this game. You know what? Brentford versus Wolves, I'm going to go for a draw. I cannot split them. I don't feel like Brentford will win because they've got so many injuries, so many players out. And overall, both teams are on fantastic form. So I'm going to sit on the fence. I don't know who's going to win this. So I'm going to go down the middle. And I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw. Moving on to the next game. It's Everton at Goodison Park facing Manchester City. Well, there's no Erling Haaland. There's no Kevin De Bruyne. There's no Jeremy Doku. Although, apparently they're set to return on this day. But whether they'll start, I don't know. Overall, Man City, they are dropping points. They are dropping points a lot. They dropped points against Crystal Palace. And I believe that's the first time in a long time they were 2-0 up and they conceded 2. That's poor for Manchester City. It's not what you want to have. And they're facing Everton. I think they're going to drop points again. I don't feel like Manchester City are going to win the league whatsoever. Everton are looking sensational. I know I predicted them to lose against Spurs, but they're home here. And I feel like they're going to get a point in this game against Manchester City. They're looking really, really good, Everton. They are really, really... Sean Dyche is doing some fantastic work. Everton, they create so many chances. And I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw come the final whistle. Moving on to the next game is at the Amex Stadium. It's Brighton Hounds of Albion versus Tottenham Hotspur. And well, Brighton lost 2-0 in the last game, obviously. They didn't score a goal, which is surprising to see. Brighton not scoring a goal. And while they're home here, they're facing Spurs, which have done well in the last couple of games. They have gotten wins, you know, 4-1 against Newcastle, 2-0 against Nottingham Forest. Those are some good wins. It's good to see Spurs getting back on form. But overall, Brighton have been a bit, all over the place in recent time because of injuries. They've been drawing and losing all over the place. And against Spurs, which I would say Spurs, in terms of their defensive department, isn't fantastic. Yes, Ben Davies did do a good job in the last game against Nottingham Forest, but overall, there were still times, like Willy Bolly, for example, how does he have that much space? That's not good enough to get that shot away. Should have been a goal there. But overall, Spurs, I would say the defensive department isn't fantastic, and Brighton last season did do well against, the high-class teams. So going into this game, I'm going to go for a shocker. A 3-1 Brighton win. I think these wins are going to come back to Brighton. Those huge wins are going to come back to Brighton against these good clubs. And Brighton are going to go back on form. And they're going to win this 3-1 against Tottenham Hotspur. Moving on to the next game. It's a London derby. Arsenal versus West Ham United. And we're Arsenal against West Ham United. Arsenal, you know what? That obviously shows. In the last game against Brighton, as I said, they won at 2-0. Obviously shows how good the defence is. Facing a team that scored in every game in the Premier League so far and keep a clean sheet against them is fantastic. Arsenal, they're in the title race. They're wanting to get a win in this game. They definitely are. Obviously they are. And because they're at home, because obviously, I would say Arsenal are, better than West Ham. I think it's obvious to go for Arsenal. I'm not going to go for a thrashing because I do like West Ham. I do like Paqueta and Kudus, and I do like James Ward-Prowse. So I'm only going to go just about to Arsenal. 1-0 come the final whistle. And well, how did I do in game week 17? Well, I got 5 points out of 18 points, which puts me on 102 points out of 338 points. I got 2 exact results. So it was a bit of a meh week. Hopefully I can do better in these 2 weeks. Hopefully you did enjoy the video. Hopefully you can like and subscribe and always remember to turn on those notifications so you miss more like fantastic YouTube videos. I'll see you next time. Toodle pip now.